haven't drafted a superstar since Patrick Ewing in 1985. And I look at trade scenarios because let me tell you something right now. The Minnesota Timberwolves, you can't keep Anthony Edwards, Karl-Anthony Towns, and Rudy Gobert. I think you have to let go of Karl-Anthony Towns. I'd love Karl-Anthony Towns in New York. I'd love to see Jalen Brunson passing him the ball. Yes, I would be down for that. I definitely would be down for that. I just don't know if it's going to happen.
All right, S.A.'s down for that. He called that almost a year ago, and you may have spoken your wish into existence because the Knicks and the Wolves are nearing a trade that will send Karl-Anthony Towns to New York in exchange for Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo. Here's what this trade looks like, guys. So the Knicks and T-Wolves finalizing that blockbuster deal, as you just saw. So they would bring Karl-Anthony Towns for Julius Randle, DiVincenzo, a top 13 protected first-round pick in next year's draft. The Hornets are also involved to make the deal work financially. Big Perk back here with us. Perk, what do you think? Did the Knicks get better by acquiring Cat?
Look, Molly, every offseason when teams are trying to get better, they got to go out and look at what? The team that just won the championship. And that was the Boston Celtics. And what did the New York Knicks go out there and do? They went and got Mikal Bridges, right? Stole them from Brooklyn. Then all of a sudden, you go out to do what? You got to match the Boston Celtics because they have perimeter. So you get Mikal perimeter play, you get Mikal Bridges, and what else do the Celtics have? They have a stretch big in Kristaps Porzingis. The New York Knicks, they go out and go get Karl-Anthony Towns right before a training camp. When it comes to the New York Knicks, they're ready to make the Boston Celtics and the rest of the league smell like cologne. And I'm talking Issey Miyake or Bond number 9. You can pick whichever one you want. And don't come telling me anything about, what about their depth? They picked up Cam Payne, who, by the way, was a key part of for the Phoenix Suns when they made their run to the NBA Finals when they lost to the Milwaukee Bucks. Deuce McBride, what he showed us last year in the postseason, he's able to come in and have a six-man type of role. So what the Knicks have done, they got deeper, they got more skill with Karl-Anthony Towns and Mikal Bridges, and hell yeah, they got enough to make a run to the NBA Finals and look at the Celtics eye to eye.
Yeah, I like what they've done also too, Perk, because you look at Mikal Bridges and you got Josh Hart, so you got two guys that you probably wanted to try to defend JT and JB with. You got a guy, Karl-Anthony Towns, that can match up very well against Kristaps Porzingis. He's a stretch, as you mentioned. Now, it looks like they might be wanting to move on from Mitchell Robinson. We'll see how that plays out. But Jalen Brunson, yeah, I think they're better. But it all depends on the version of Karl-Anthony Towns. Is he going to be motivated that he's gotten moved because he's basically the team said, yeah, we think we're better with Julius Randle and DiVincenzo than we are with Cat. Maybe it's a better fit for Ant-Man, but I do believe the Knicks have gotten better for the simple fact, Mikal Bridges, as you mentioned, Perk, and Cat. But if Cat's motivated, and I think he will be, because he wants to prove that he's a preeminent big. I think sometimes he shoots a little bit too many threes for me because I watched him put the ball on the floor because he has everything. He can put the ball on the floor, get to the rim. He got mid-range. He can shoot the three. Sometimes I think he falls in love with the three a little bit too much for my liking, Perk. Mm-hmm. But he's a phenomenal talent. But I understand what you're saying about they can look the Celtics eye to eye. But, man, there's that guy down. I think it's down. I think Philly is down from New York. Whatever the case may be, they got that big old guy from Cameroon, and they got PG. The East is about to get very, very interesting.
Well, the East is definitely interesting, and I get where y'all are coming from. Listen, I'm excited, but I'm cautiously excited. And here's the deal. First of all, Big Perk, I'm not going to say that the Knicks stole Mikal Bridges because not only did you trade Bogdanovich, you traded 5 first-round picks, 4 of them unprotected. So I'm not going to say they stole him from Brooklyn, but they got him and I wanted him, and damn it, you know what? Mikal Bridges is definitely an upgrade. When you talk about Karl-Anthony Towns, you're talking about arguably the best shooting big man in history. He's a legit 6'11". He's a career 39.8% shooter from three-point range. 5 of his 9 years in the league, he has shot better than 40% from 3, including last season when he shot 41.6% from three-point range. When I think about Brunson having the ball and kicking it to him being a catch-and-shoot guy that he can be, okay, as opposed to somebody like Julius Randle who wanted to dribble as opposed to catch and shoot, etc. I think that helps the fluidity of the New York Knicks offense, makes them incredibly more formidable. I totally agree with you in terms of their bench. McBride, I think he can give them a little bit something. I love the pickup of Campaign. I even like Precious Achiuwa. I like him in the lineup coming off the bench, all right? I like his promises. And then I think about Mitchell Robinson coming back, and ultimately you having that additional big man that really puts Cat at the 4 because he's really not a 5, he's really a 4. So I'm looking at it from that standpoint. I think it makes the Knicks better. I think it makes them more formidable. They can definitely win the East. So here's the question. Who's the favorite? It's clearly going to be Boston. They're going to be the favorite, particularly if Porzingis is healthy. Now we get to the second part. I know they picked up Paul George. And I know that with what the Knicks acquired, the Knicks could beat anybody. I think they could beat the Sixers. But when we talk about favorites, I want to remind everybody that Joel Embiid averaged 35 in the playoffs on one leg against the Knicks.
Yes.
On one leg.
Yeah,
now,
okay.
I have to take this. I have to also take this into consideration. They say, what does they say, Perk? He lost about 25 to 30 pounds so he could be healthier. They said he lost about 25 to 30 pounds. So what I'm going to do is take everybody on a best case scenario. The New York Knicks fully loaded versus the Philadelphia 76ers with a healthy Joel Embiid. All right, the Philadelphia 76ers, right? I'm saying I can't dismiss that. Can the Knicks beat them? Yes. But Boston and Philly would be the favorites over them.
Look, I'm with you, but every postseason, Joel Embiid is playing on one leg. And that's the biggest question mark. Can he get through the regular season and get to the postseason healthy? We have yet to see that, right? Every postseason, he's not healthy. That's number one. Number two, a key factor that we're missing, that I missed, Shannon, you missed, Stephen A., you didn't mention him either, is OG Anunoby. And how valuable he is at 6'8", 6'9", at the wing or power forward, whatever you want to call it. Hell yeah, I mean, hell, it was at a point last year in the postseason, and this past postseason, I thought I was watching Scottie Pippen. To be honest with you, when he was brought to the table before he pulled his hamstring. So again, I'm not dismissing what Philly has done. I think they're going to be right there in the thick of things. I think Daryl Moore did exactly what he was supposed to do, and what he's been doing all his career is being aggressive in the offseason. That's what he did, pulling in Paul George. But the Knicks, led by Big Body Brunson, I know Joel Embiid averaged 35 on one leg, but Big Body Brunson went there and dropped a couple 40 pieces in Philly. He was the best player in the Eastern Conference last year after the All-Star break. And damn it, he was damn near, the first couple rounds, he was leading the league in scoring in the postseason. So, I mean, let's not forget what he's doing.
I'm not concerned about Joel Embiid losing 25 pounds in the offseason because there's no games played. So now you can stay on the top of everything. But when you play it and the game's ending at 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night, and you got to make smart, nutritious decisions, will he keep that 25, 30 pounds off, Stephen A.? That's the question. It's not the losing of the weight that concerns me. Perk, after the game, is he going to make healthy choices, or he going to go for the wings and the pizza?
Well, hold on. First of all, let's not be disrespectful to the brother, okay? The fact of the matter is Joel Embiid has proven to be great no matter what the conditions are. His health is a question mark. You talk about him staying away from the food. Okay, well, damn it, if you could do it to me, correct me if I'm wrong. Ain't it harder to do in the offseason than it is during the season? During the season, you got work to do. During the offseason, you could get over. You could cheat a lot. You can cheat a lot with that diet.
No.
I don't know if Shannon's the right person to ask for that question.
Because you have to understand
the
time in which you're eating. When you eat, what you eat is a major factor in the way your weight, being able to control your weight. You coming in after the game and you're making unhealthy decisions. It is much easier. That's why you see guys in the offseason lose the weight, because guess what? You get to make all those right decisions. You have somebody prepare your meal X, Y, and Z. You eating at a certain time, and you is portion control. In the during the season, Stephen A., think about it. You getting in. Man, I'm sure hungry. You just got in at 1, 2 o'clock o'clock in the morning, like, man, let me go ahead and make an unhealthy decision. And the next thing you know, 1 pound becomes 5, 5 becomes 10 and 15. And the weight that you had lost in the offseason, you had gained it back a month or two into the season.